this is Phil Montero from Highbridge Communications, and in our video today we're going to talk about, can your business phone system work from home? And we're going to look at some of the advantages of having a cloud-based voice over IP phone system. And I know that's a few acronyms there or a few discussions there, but we're going to talk about this and I'll unpack it in a little bit. So due to the current situation with COVID-19, otherwise known as the coronavirus, at least here in New York State, there's a 100% mandate that all non-essential employees need to be able to work from home. And that has left companies scrambling to try and figure out how to mobilize their data as well as their communications so that employees can try as best as possible to have business as usual while they're working from home. The data and the internal communications are really the easy part. A lot of companies had that figured out already. So you might have things like Microsoft Teams or Office 365. If you have an Office 365 subscription in the office, then that easily allows you with Teams to collaborate on documents. You can have multiple people log into a Word or Excel file, make changes, have comments, and see what everybody's doing. If you don't have those things in place, then you might have what's called a virtual private network or a VPN that allows people to use their home laptops and computers to log into servers in the office. If not, then you can quickly and easily set up something like Dropbox or OneDrive, which are cloud-based syncing services for files, cloud sharing for files. Even if you don't take all of your office documents, you can take the maybe 10 or 20 folders or files that are most important for projects that are going on right now, move them to that service, and then allow people to sync with those. That allows them to sync with smartphones and tablets and computers and laptops, and if somebody makes a change on one document, it seamlessly syncs with the rest. When it comes to internal communications and face-to-face meetings, you've got things like, again, Microsoft Teams, Zoom, which we've been using in our office, and it's been very successful. We've been very happy with Zoom, video conferencing platform, very affordable and easy to use. Or maybe use something like GoToMeeting or Citrix. Maybe you have some solutions already in place to handle that kind of information. But the biggest hurdle that most companies have is how to handle your phone system. How do you handle the phone calls that physically come into your office on a daily basis and need to get routed to different employees and different people? How do you handle that? So for most people and most companies that don't have or haven't thought about how to mobilize their phone system, they're basically just expecting their employees to work from their cell phones. Well, that works okay to an extent, but it leaves a lot to be desired. And what is that? Well, how do you handle those calls that come into the main phone number? You can forward that number to a particular employee, and that phone would ring on their cell phone, and they would have to take all of those calls coming in. But what about things like your auto attendant and ring groups? An auto attendant is that system that may say, well, press 1 to reach this department, 2 to reach this department, or press 3 to get our directory of employees. If everyone's working from their cell phones, then that system isn't going to work very effectively. And then what about ring groups? A ring group is where people call in and maybe it rings multiple phone lines at the same time. Again, in our office, if you called us, you would be reaching the help desk. It rings 3 or 4 phones at the same time and whoever's available takes that call. If suddenly we're dealing with everyone in their cell phones, that's not going to be as effective. It's not going to work the same way. Calling from cell phone numbers out from your outbound employees, if they're calling customers and clients, the problem is it's going to be exposing their personal cell phone numbers using caller ID, as well as it's not going to be sharing your company's caller ID. That means some phone calls may not get answered by customers and clients because it doesn't look like it's coming from your company. Suddenly it looks like it's coming from a name they don't recognize. There's also the inability to park or transfer calls. Again, in your office, typically you can do that, but if people are using their cell phones, you can't really park a call, put a call on hold, or transfer a call to another employee. And then what about faxes? A lot of people don't think about their incoming faxes that get delivered to a physical fax machine or a copier. How are we going to handle those if no one's in the office to do those, to handle those faxes and reply to those? If a company has been a little bit forward thinking, or maybe if you've been thinking about it, you might want to consider what's called a voice over IP system. And that just means voice over IP is voice over internet protocol. It means that your phone calls are routed over the internet rather than traditional copper phone lines. But not all voice over IP phone systems are created the same. They're not all equal. Some still require some on-premise equipment that is not only expensive, but it requires the phones to work properly to be on site at the office. Or if you do take them off site, as we've experienced in some clients, it means that there's a lot of complicated network configurations, or again, a VPN or virtual private network that's required just to get those phones to be able to receive calls when those phones are moved off-site in their home and not on-site. What we provide at Highbridge Communications is what's called a cloud-based voice over IP system. And that means that the brains of the system doesn't exist in a box that's on your wall in your computer room or anything. Those are all basically, the brains of the system are handled by servers that are out on the internet and in the cloud. And that provides a much more flexible phone system. Because what it means is that you can take those phones, you can bring them home, simply plug them in your home internet connection, and as soon as they boot up, they log into the brains of the system in the cloud, and it's business as usual. So what do I mean when I say business as usual? Well, that means that incoming calls can still be handled by the same auto attendant or the ring groups as they used to before, because they ring through to phones no matter where they're located as long as they're on the internet. It means that all of your employees can still 3-digit dial each other. If I need to call Justin or Molly or someone else in my office, I basically just dial the same 3-digit extension I always dialed before, and it rings their phone whether their phone is home or in the office. It means that you can still park and transfer calls between phones just like you did in the office. Again, to your customers and clients, there's no difference. They're calling the same number they did. Everything works the same way it used to. And if you can't bring your business phone home, or you for some reason don't have the ability to plug your phone right into your internet router and have that close to where you're working, no problem. There's a smartphone app and a desktop or laptop app called Reach UC that we provide, and that allows you to basically install that, and then it will ring through to your computer or your smartphone just like it was the same extension that you use in the office. When you make outgoing calls, it still uses the same caller ID as it did before, so no one knows you're calling from home or that you're using your cell phone. It still shows your main office number, so those calls will get answered and they still know some of the call is made for your company. And when it comes to faxes, we can change your fax number over, forward it to our digital system, and that means that your faxes will get delivered to one or multiple people via email as an Acrobat file or a PDF file, the same way that it come in physically before, but now it comes in as a digital file so that people can respond, read, and reply to those faxes in a timely fashion without anyone having to be in the office. So if you need a flexible phone system and you're struggling during this trying time and these unprecedented times of everyone working at home, we would like to help you out. Even if we don't port your phone numbers over, we can quickly set up a phone system for you and forward your existing numbers to our phone system so that your folks can either, again, have physical phones, smartphones, use computer applications or the desktop or laptop application, and be able to make and receive phone calls just like they do in the office, but do it seamlessly without any inconvenience to your customers, your clients, or your team or your co-workers. If you need help, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach us at sales@highbridgecommunications.com or simply call 315-353-8100. We are happy to help out in any way we can, so please don't hesitate to contact us. We hope that you stay well and stay safe, and again, just reach out if we can help. Thanks so much and have a great day.